You gonna turn your back on family?
Fast and Furious 8 is directed by F. Gary Gray and stars Vin Diesel, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Michelle Rodriguez and Tyrese Gibson. With this franchise, you are either a lover or a hater. I am 100% a lover of this franchise. I love the over-the-top stupidity that this franchise plays with, and it is so self-aware. It's that self-recognition that truly allows this franchise to excel above all else. This franchise really brings people together. I especially seen that while watching this film. In my theatre, people were so excited, they were talking to each other, discussing and speculating. Then the movie started and people were laughing and dancing to the awesome music this movie and the franchise always includes. It was such an incredible theatre experience. Now, this entry is about how a mysterious criminal named Cypher has managed to turn leading man Dominic Toretto against the one thing he cares about most: family. From this point, the team must go and find Dom to try and figure out why he is doing what he is doing, and hopefully bring him back home to the family that he originally created. I knew as soon as the first scene started, I was in for a wild ride, as the opening of this movie is flawlessly executed. It really goes back to the roots of the franchise, and the way it is handled is amazing and incredibly done. It is fast, furious, and best of all, fun. I have to hand it to Straight Outta Compton director F. Gary Gray for his masterful handling on this movie, as he was a perfect director choice. He was able to handle the action so well because the action is of course ridiculous and over the top, but FGG really understood that and was able to do a lot with it. It is so much fun to watch the action unfold on screen. All of the characters in this were as good as ever. There is a lot of returning characters in this, and I'm not going to spoil which characters come back. However, I will talk about Jason Statham's Deckard Shaw, as he is in the trailer. He is so good in this, and he is able to hold his own completely when he shares the screen with The Rock and Vin Diesel. He has a lot of good gags too, which make him incredibly entertaining to watch. Scott Eastwood's character was an interesting one. At first I really didn't like his character, but I really began to like him as the film progresses and becomes pretty awesome. It is quite clear that they are trying to turn him into Paul Walker's character, but please don't do that. Make him his own character. There is also another fantastic new character who I won't spoil here, but they are amazing in this with a lot of great moments. Charlize Theron plays the villain Cypher, and she was very good in this. You really do believe she is evil, and Charlize is a really good actress, so we can see that here. You really do hate her in this, and Charlize Theron does a really good job with the villainous role here, as she knows how to twist the audience's mind to go against her and her ways. I mentioned the soundtrack earlier, but I'll talk about it again. The music is so lively, bright and beautiful. It gets you pumped and excited about the movie and makes you want to watch it, and then helps you get immersed inside of the scenes as if you are sat in a car next to Dom Toretto himself. Speaking of cars, this movie definitely has the best car roster of the franchise. They are fast, loud, and also practical, and FGG really showcases these cars for the beauties that they are. It really shows an appreciation for these cars and vehicles, which is nice to see for a franchise which essentially revolves around vehicles. This is also the funniest of the franchise and one of the most emotionally riveting. It is really an emotional roller coaster with this, and I won't say why, but it's quite unique in that sense. It has this emotional transition which even the masterful Hacksaw Ridge was using. I was having all the feels with this, and it is truly fantastic when it hits. I really felt that due to all the elements in this movie, it really brought the franchise as a whole to full circle. It felt like a really complete experience. I keep using the word experience, but that is the best way I can describe this film and get across to you that this film really is a must-see. I want to talk about this movie in so much detail because of how much I loved it. However, I can't do that due to the amount of surprises within it. I want all of you to have the same experience I had with Fast 8. This was an incredible cinema going experience. I felt a sense of community, or family if you will, among me and the people around me. They really have something special here, and I can't wait to see what they do with the franchise for Fast and Furious 9 and Fast and Furious 10 when the franchise finally comes to its utmost conclusion. I give Fast and Furious 8 an A+.